All right, folks, this is Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop. We're doing it once again. It is Tuesday. Me and my man Dusty, we're about to make it happen, y'all, for our Tuesday live show right here, Facebook, YouTube, and the Homegrown Media Network right there on the Roku channel. If you're watching right now, folks, this is the place to be. You are live with Lonzo. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Dusty, 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 I see you in the dugout. I see you in the dugout. You ready?
Yes. What up, my man?
Real quick. All right, y'all. What's up with you, Dusty? One?
Man, aside from getting hit with that Rona, man, I'm doing all right, man.
You had the Rona too. That's right.
Crept up on me last week. I don't know if you remember, I was saying that I was feeling a little sniffly and I ended up getting tested and yeah, it came back positive, man. But I mean, mild symptoms, just something that for an energetic person like me, it's something you don't want because it just definitely slows you down.
Man, 2 or 3 of my, no, I'm sorry, let me back that up. I called a few of my buddies last week to see how they was doing for the holidays, man. And next thing I know, maybe 15 cats out of 15, 13 had Rona, dude.
Yeah.
Had Rona.
Yeah.
I've been in the studio. Rona was somewhere. She's somewhere around my house slightly. It's not really bad. One of my sons had a little something. So I've been social distancing my ass off from everybody. Okay, I live in the studio. I live in my office. I'm everywhere, but what they are. Trust me. Okay.
Yeah.
So I get it. I'm glad to see you backing up and running though. What you got today?
Yeah. You know what? Nothing stopped me, man. Shit, especially tonight's show, man. I look forward to doing this. But we had some good news in the hip hop world. Both of young Dolph's killers have been arrested. Now, let me put you up to speed, Lonzo, in case you haven't been up to speed on what's been going on the past week. They identified one of the killers, which we talked about, I believe, on this past Thursday.
Okay.
And about a day later, he came out, he put a post on Instagram, and he said, I'm going to turn myself in on Monday. So I guess he wanted to get his crunk on for the last couple of days or whatnot, right? So instead of turning himself in on Monday, Lonzo, he actually put out a music video.
Okay.
Yeah, on YouTube, and in the music video, it's him, and he's pretty much saying, I got this glamour, and I did this, and I did that. I'm rolling with these niggas, and didn't turn himself in like he promised. But apparently, about 6 or 7 hours ago, he was the first one arrested in Indiana somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah, and then just about an hour or two, as of our conversation now, they caught the other guy.
I saw that I was looking at Facebook or something, and they had them both there looking very suspect and stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody just sealed their fate, okay? Why would you go get a lawyer after doing that right there? Why would you go get a lawyer? Why would you, how could you go to court and plead not guilty when you made a music video that everybody saw about you saying what you said you did, and you're going to go to court and probably plead not guilty, waste people's money. And it's just amazing, man. It's just the level of ignorance that this new generation has adapted to go viral, to be apparently to try and be relevant, whatever. He killed a man, made the music video, turned himself in, and
he got arrested. He didn't turn himself in. The marshals.
Well, they wouldn't got him. Okay,
he didn't turn himself in. They got tipped off to where he was in Indiana.
But my whole question is, why was it so important to kill that brother just to end up going to jail for the rest of your life? I don't understand that. I mean, you should have known at some point in time it was going to. In most of these cases, they solve. Some of them they don't. They haven't solved Tupac's technically, Biggie, but most of these modern day rappers that get killed, they pretty much solve these situations because cameras are everywhere. It's a different time, so the technology is totally different, and folks is doing things with social media that just incriminates himself beyond understanding. But what it is, man, this is the time that we live in. Yeah.
And the court's going to use some of his lyrics in this new video against him in court, which leads to my next question. When was the first time you remember in hip hop, rock, country, punk, whatever the case is, where someone's lyrics were used against them in court?
Well, you know what? I don't recall that didn't happen till like the 90s, but I
The 2 Live Crew, right?
was involved in a case where a partner of mine shot a guy in Sacramento, and they played the movie Colors in the movie, okay, because the shooting took place at a viewing of the movie Colors, and the prosecutor was saying that my partner killed homeboy out of retaliation for what happened in the movie, which was some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. But nonetheless, my boy got 25 with an L. He just got home. I was 86, 87. We was touring for Turn Off the Lights because he was supposed to be on the road with us. He chose to stay home that weekend and go to Sacramento. And he went there, shot a guy. He said the story was the guy had saw him earlier that week and had pulled the gun on him. And when they met at the movies, another gun was supposed to have been produced. When my boy messed up he went to the trunk and came back. Okay. And when he left and came back, that's not good. You can't leave. If you can leave, you better. Okay. If you can leave, keep going. And that was pretty much the theory of the court. And if you could have left, if you had time to go to your car, you had time to go to your car and get in and leave. But when you came back, you changed the whole scenario. Plus, they never found the gun that homeboy was supposed to have had. But again, a lot of his family was there, so it is what it is. But that was one of the first cases I've ever experienced where a movie was used to help incriminate somebody that was being prosecuted for a case. I don't recall a lot of the music situation. I know people tried to use Tupac's lyrics at one point in time, but that was way back in the 90s. And they said that gangster rap kind of encouraged people to do certain things, and people were doing things based on being under the influence of gangster rap. But that right there, I was personally involved in, so I can definitely relate to that a lot different.
You were around during the 2 Live Crew censorship era.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to catch 2 Live Crew in a show at their height? And what do you remember about that time when the C. Dolores Tuckers and everybody was on their heads?
No, I never had a chance to hang out with 2 Live Crew. I never went to Florida. I passed through Florida one time. Never played Florida. All the years I've been doing shows, never played Florida. Played Atlanta, Mississippi, Georgia, but never played Florida. When I saw that, C. Dolores Tucker had a point at that time. And for the most part, man, a lot of people understood where she was coming from. In fact, my company that I had founded, West Coast Record Distributors, that was kind of the breaking point between Jerry Heller, LA Dream Team, and Egyptian Lover when they took on Eazy-E and N.W.A. as clients. We didn't want to have anything to do with that because we understood the possible impact of what was going on. C. Dolores Tucker was leading that brigade, but at some point in time, to my knowledge, Seagram gave her a big old check and she got real quiet. So that showed you, but then she died shortly. So I don't know the real story, but allegedly she received a check for her support of something or another from Seagram, which was tied into the distribution of something or another. And the next thing you know, it was over with. And everybody was allowed to flourish from that point on.
Who was responsible for the parental advisory sticker?
Man, I think the stuff Luke them started doing was kind of push that envelope, because at one point in time, when you made gangster records or gangster records or sexually explicit records, you had to have two versions. You had to have the street version and then the Walmart version, because Walmart at that time was selling more records than anybody. Walmart was the number one distributor of records around the country. Okay, and if you wanted to get shelf space in Walmart, you had to have a clean version. But the problem was for the labels, people were making the clean versions, but guess what? Nobody was buying them.
That's it.
Nobody was buying them. So when nobody started buying them, then later on, when Luke went up against, I think it was Disney, I think it was Disney or one of the big companies. Yeah, he went up against Disney, and he went up against the Supreme Court and won that case, but he lost against Disney because up until that time he was Luke Skywalker. So they won the First Amendment case, but he lost the case against Disney because it was copyright infringement because he was using the name Luke Skywalker, and he became Uncle Luke. But from that point on, they took the cap off of all lyrics, and everybody been cussing and fucking ever since. So, you wonder sometimes, man, what would happen if things had been different, Because the stuff that was being done at that time, the stuff that Luke did and the N.W.A, it was not supposed to go mainstream. It was supposed to stay underground.
Right.
Underground was a beautiful market back then, man.
Yeah.
There was no internet, and you could make a lot of money underground because people would actually buy your records and give you money for records and CDs and cassettes. And it just made so much. It was just a much better time. You didn't have to be mainstream to make a nice living back in the day. You didn't have to be. I mean, one of my mentors, Swamp Dogg, who was a blues singer, most people never heard of him. But he lived a very comfortable life in Woodland Hills for years, big house, pool, the whole 9 yards. And all he sold was maybe 20, 30,000 cassettes a year. I mean, CDs a year, did his shows on the other side of the Mason-Dixon line. And that was his life. And because you could get a niche, you didn't need to sell a lot of physical product to make money. Nowadays, you got to go platinum just to get any kind of check.
Yep. Or maybe not even get one.
Yeah.
I guess the chitlin circuit kept a lot of people paid back in the day, right?
Chitlin circuit was considered the underground.
Explain the chitlin circuit to people.
The chitlin circuit was something that Wrecking Crew was a very big part of in its early years. The chitlin circuit, there's a lot of clubs in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and these clubs might hold, 300 or 400 people, okay? And they were small clubs. LA used to have a nice chitlin circuit. Doodles was considered a part of the chitlin circuit. Doodles was a big club on the West Coast, but it was considered to be a part of the chitlin circuit. And the chitlin circuit was basically small clubs, independent owners. There was no chains, no chains that I knew of back then, but there was a series of clubs that you can play in different towns and eat and make money. I mean, back then we was getting $1,500 a night, but we was doing 3 or 4 shows a week. So we making $6,000-7,000 a week, and we go from Texas to Louisiana. And Texas is so big, you can play Texas 3 days in a row and be within and stay out of 100 miles of the last gig you played. Okay, or you can go to Texas in Louisiana and come back and play Texas again. It was like that. The down south is so small, and they had a lot of little small venues, dude. And even back then, they had a lot of cottages. We played a lot of cottages and stuff. So all that can be a part of the chitlin circuit. And that's something that you had the chitlin circuit, and you had P2 radio stations.
That's right.
Radio stations are labeled as P1, P2s. Power 106, P1. Kiss FM, P1. 99.1 out in
Inland Empire.
Might be a P2. Okay.
Bakersfield.
P2. Okay. So, but because you had P1 stations, P2 stations, you had primary markets, you had secondary markets. LA is a primary market. Bakersfield is a secondary market. San Diego was a secondary market. It became a primary at some point in time, but you can get played on secondary stations a lot easier. But because you're on secondary stations, you also playing those non-primary clubs, which still got primary money. They still pay the same money as the big club, but because you're not competing with major acts, you're working a lot more. And that's why the chitlin circuit was so appealing to a lot of people. And it's a lot of that right now in the comedy, in comedy, because comedy is lower investment, and you don't need a lot of people to have a good show. We need a lot of acts to have a good show, and the overhead for doing a comedy show is a lot less than it is to do a concert. So people, it's much easier to open up a comedy club, and that's one of the things comedians survive on right now. It's not really called a chitlin circuit no more, but it's smaller markets that you can go in and get yourself $500, 3 or 4 times a month, or 3 or 4 times a week in different spots. That's
And
not a bad paycheck.
did that name have something to do with back in the day when black folks weren't allowed to play in big places? I feel like it
had a lot to do with that.
Oh, that's what it was.
When we were not integrated, we did better in a lot of things, and our entertainment was one of those things. We had our own clubs, we had our own restaurants, we had our own gas stations, we had everything because nobody would service us. And you know, they didn't look at black dollars as being green money. They just thought it being black dollars, and sometimes they didn't want the black dollars. Well, black entrepreneurs realized black dollars spend as good as anybody else's money. And then at some point in time, folks started realizing, oh, if we increase the black dollars, we can make more money overall. And because in most cases, keeping it 100, the arenas or the auditoriums or the clubs of the non-black folks were a lot nicer. They had more to offer. I played clubs, man. They didn't have 2 speakers that matched in the whole joint. They got Sir Vega on one side, JBL over here. The mix ain't got no knobs on it. Half the fader is gone. But you walk into the other clubs, man, everything is nice and neat. They treat you a lot different. It's just, you know, but yes, we at one point in time, we were a lot better off entertainment wise, you know, even during the Prohibition, man. That's one of the things I learned from watching House movie. You know, Prohibition kept a lot of people working, and then you know, people kept working after Prohibition, but because it was an underground thing, it was much more controlled and a lot less, I guess maybe not as competitive.
Yeah. Damn, interesting times, man. Let's move on. And if you guys have any questions for the Godfather, post them in the comment section. Thank you to all the people in the comment section. Please hit that like button if you're listening to the sound of my voice. And please hit that notification bell button if you want to get notified when we go live. And lastly, if you're feeling generous, there's a little dollar sign right below the chat. Feel free to drop a few bucks. But let's move on, Lonzo.
And the phone lines open today too, Doc.
Oh shit! Give me. You know what? Here, I'll post the number in the thing. Phone lines are open too. Give us a call. I'll post the number in the thing after I ask Lonzo this question.
Go for it.
Boom, boom, boom. I was just watching an interview with Clientele. Shout out to Clientele. And he made a comment, and I would love your opinion on it. He said, and I quote, "Reality rap did not start with N.W.A, but with world-class wrecking crew." End quote. Your thoughts?
Very true.
Oh, they talk to me.
We were doing songs like "Gangbanging, You're Dead" on our first world-class album. We had a couple of songs, man, that were on the reality-based level. But our music that time was kind of patterned after what people do for money. What people do for money.
Okay.
Huh?
I'll look them up.
Yeah. That was one of our favorite songs, and "Gangbanging, You're Dead" was like that, because that was something we would never. Divine Sounds. Thank you. That was never our get down as far as anything else, and we were always trying to be more uplifting. And even after Wrecking Crew broke up, if you did some of the songs I did later on, same thing. Reality rap was actually something that everybody was trying to achieve, because we saw a lot, man. You know, running nightclubs and doing things like that. We saw a lot of different stuff that most people didn't see, and we wanted to sing about it. And Toddy T had success with Bataram. Mixmaster Spade had his success, and Mixmaster Spade was probably one of the first guys to do some gangster drug raps. But Toddy T was successful with the Bataram, which was a whole nother level of motivation. And like I said, we did "Gangbang, You're Dead," "A Horny Computer." And as I think about that right now, I have all my stuff just got it digitized. And I'm working with some young producers right now to do some new music to some old lyrics and see what could be done from this point forward. But yeah, Doc, I definitely agree with him. Good looking out, Clientele.
Talk to us about "Gangbang the Dead." I know you brought that up before, but I don't think we've got too deep into it. What was that song about, and what made you guys write it?
Man, folks was dying. You know, folks were dying. This is when gangbanging was at its height in the 80s. and folks was getting killed left and right, dude. When I went to school at Centennial, we heard about people getting shot. I went to one funeral. I just think I mentioned this to somebody else recently. I went to one funeral from a buddy of mine who died, and he died from from a swimming accident during the summer. Well, and we heard about somebody getting shot at Locke. We heard somebody getting shot over here, but by the time we got to the eve after dark, man, it was like you hear about so and so, you heard about so and so, and folks was riding through the hood, shooting up people. Man, half the guys I grew up with are dead.
Damn.
I mean, everybody tried their hand at the crack era at some point in time, and so many guys just got killed in that era. And it was mostly. And here's the crazy part about it: if you lived on El Segundo, where I did, and El Segundo near Maine, and you crossed 120th, it was a rival gang. But everybody went to the 7-Eleven. Everybody went to AM/PM. So you might have cats shooting at the AM/PM. If you went to the park, everybody went to the park, and the rival gang was across the freeway, they roll by there, see who they can see, and shoot up the park, or they ride down the actual drug street, which was Jarvis in my neighborhood, and just shoot up 3 or 4 cats. Man, it was going down like that on a regular basis, dude. So that was our motivation for doing it. It was really close to us, dude. We was blessed to be on the road most of the time. We would leave on Friday morning, come back, somebody was dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was like that. It was like that. That was kind of our motivation. We would go do a show, come back, somebody was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Or you hear some shooting, and all of a sudden next thing you know, man, you hear about so and so, your boy, man, he caught some hot ones. Damn. And that became a regular activity going to funerals, dude. And that just was motivation for us to do a song, man.
Very cool story. Yeah, last year 2021 in Los Angeles, we had 385 homicides, which is the most since 2007. But that's nothing in comparison to what was going on back in the 80s and 90s. To put people in perspective, I mean, we were literally having 1,000, 2,000, like 2,000. And you think shit's crazy. Now, Lonzo, like you said, he go to side of town on a Saturday, come back on a Monday.
Dude, brothers were falling left and right, and I experienced the decline of the city first up close and personal through my club. Because I remember when I first got to Even After Dark, I was clean every week. I could wear a suit, brand new shoes. I could wear a tie if I wanted to, because I was that dude. And I left with Skateland Doodles, came back. Things slowed down. I went back to the old man again. He gave me the keys, and I tried to put on a pair of slacks. And I realized real quick, this slack shit ain't working no more. I had to start wearing jeans, tennis shoes, and a sweatshirt, because at any given moment it was going down. Man, the streets had changed that much. It wasn't even about dancing no more. It was about coming to the dance, see who you can jump on. Okay, and that became something I just couldn't deal with, dude. And I think about some of the things I've done since then. I had my club, the Current Affair, over in Inglewood. That was in the 90s, and we had a few fights over there, because on Monday nights during the summertime, I'd put the liquor up. I'd let kids come in there and party. Some of the guys, man, we doing some dances. Okay, cool. And I looked up, dude, and if they weren't fighting, they was trying to get their sexual experience on. Okay, and I'm talking about not just some freak dancing. I'm talking about homeboy on his back, homegirl straddling his face with a dress. I don't know whether she got drawers on or not, but it didn't look good. And because I'm a grown ass man, I got my kids there, I can't let this go down. And that became our patrol. Our main patrol was to keep people from either fighting, and it just got to. Dude, that's when I first started seeing it getting real tough around here. And that was back in that was like 90, 98, 99. That's when it started getting real crazy. Yeah,
damn.
It started getting worse. By the time I left Even After Dark, came over to the Current Affair. And after that, then I had vowed never to open another teen club again. And I tried it anyway, just on the strength, and I lost all faith. In fact, I was telling the story this morning, I think it was. what made me stop dealing with teenagers was because I have this thing about me, man. I got this superhero thing about me. When kids, especially girls, are left behind, I'll wait for them to get a ride. I'm not going to close my doors and pull off and leave these girls outside my club. I wouldn't do it. So we close the club at 12 o'clock, and we wait, and it's 12:30, it's 1:45. Ain't nobody answer the phone. Ain't nobody come to get them. So me, with my good Samaritan ass, I put them in the truck and take them home. Okay, they live right there for Florence and Crenshaw. I got to come that way anyway. As soon as I pulled up and let them out the door, I let them out the back of the van, some old dude come out with a baseball bat. I will call the police. Y'all be ashamed of yourself, them young girls in the car. I'm like, man, you left them at the spot, and you mad at me because I brought them home? No, dude, I'm not getting a case like that. And that's what made me stop dealing with them.
That's cool, yeah. Makes sense, man. Can't do nice things, man.
Nah,
so,
okay.
Matt Tree, shout out Matt Tree, says R.I.P. Debo, Tiny Lister, Compton High, Long Beach City College, and ran track at Cal State Long Beach. Real OG. Yeah, man. Debo, Tiny Lister hit on my girl at the Compton Parade back in 1996, and all I could do was stand there looking like a dummy. Just wow. Gone, baby, gone. But wow. she didn't mess with him. She didn't mess with him.
He played basketball too. I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
I remember him mostly at the Comedy Act Theater messing with Robin Harris.
Oh, okay. They did. Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he was a Debo. He was a wrestler for a while.
Right.
Okay. He had that dead eye, and he would always hit himself on the chest all the time. That was his thing. Talking shit, right? Robin, if you got him to go to the bathroom, Robin gonna clown your ass. Okay. He had damn near pissing on themselves before he would let him go to the bathroom. Only time you can go to the bathroom with Robin when Robin wasn't on the stage. Okay. And that's what Tiny would do. He go to the bathroom. I'm gonna get you, fool. I'm gonna get and that was his thing. And that was the first time I really noticed him. But he lived right there. Went to Compton High School, the whole 9 yards, dude. He's all right.
Okay, I didn't know he had a relationship with Robin Harris.
Oh, me?
No, him. I knew you did. I knew you did.
They was boys. I mean, they was cool. They had a little. It was like a little comedy thing, man. When if Tiny showed up, he did the same thing every week. Hit himself on the chest, talk shit. I'm gonna get you, fool. Walk up on the stage like he gonna do something, and Robin would say something crazy, and everybody pack up, and he go to the bathroom.
I wish there was footage of that somewhere, man. Jeez.
I think Michael Williams, the owner of the club, he might have some of that. He and I talk all the time. Maybe he might have something laying around. You never know. Wow. I know they used to videotape it, but I don't know if he had the rights to use it or not.
No, this is a good question. We never talked about this guy. Buckshot L64. Hey, Lonzo, can you talk about Coolio?
Coolio used to be at my house on a regular basis, hanging out with Dre. Long before he made Gangsta Paradise. Coolio was from Carson, if I ain't mistaken. He would be around here all the time. He didn't have the antenna haircut. He just was a regular cat around here. And like so many other guys, when Dre left, they kind of disappeared. But he and I we were always cool. Don't have no real Coolio stories though, because back then, it would be so many guys around my house. I didn't know them all. I knew their faces, but I didn't know them all. And he was one of those cats. He never caused no problems, so he never stood out. And then next thing I know, he blew up, and they said, he used to be at the house all the time. No shit. Okay.
Damn, that's crazy. That's one more thing I wish we had pictures of the house party that was your house. You know what I'm saying? You always kind of use that reference of who came through your house. I wish there was just a snapshot of Coolio, Warren G, KB, and Romeo and Joe Cooley, like just a group. That would be so dope, man.
Yesterday I did a podcast with a friend of mine, Peanut, AJ Johnson's brother, and we were just talking about all the stuff that we've done and we used to do. And the Eve After Dark was one of those spots. My venues have just as much historical value, have just as much historical value as I do. Okay. And that was one of the things that one of the comedians that was on the show was talking about. Regina was talking about I need to do a documentary on Eve After Dark, and I need to do one about my house. It's just those two spots have launched so many careers. It's been ridiculous. And it was they have a life all their own, dude. A life all their own.
Man. Mike Klein, this is a good one. I mean, not Mike Klein. Easy Steve mentioned Mike Klein. He says Mike Klein has a gag order from Suits with Ruthless Records. Any way to get Mike Klein to talk, or is there an expiration or some sort of a statute of limitations on gag orders?
I don't know. Know. It all depends on what a gag order could be. What you call that? Do not. What you call that? NDR.
Non-disclosure or something.
Non-disclosure can be considered a gag order, depending on what you're talking about. Okay, a non-disclosure agreement can be considered a gag order, which means it's almost the same thing. It means that I gave you a check. I ain't saying I'm guilty, but don't tell nobody else why I paid you and what you did to get this check. So that may be what you're referring to, and if that's the case, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Okay. And
let me there was something actually that I wanted to talk with you about, because I know you always shed some good light on stuff like this. But Safari, a popular musician, recently reflected on buying a chain for $130,000 and reselling it for $50,000 when he went broke. He said in the caption, "I spent $133K on that chain. Not to brag, but I would never do anything like that again." Talk to me about that.
Stupid is as stupid does, as my man Forrest Gump says. You can't. I've had this conversation in front of this camera numerous times, and these young guys, and it's not young guys, these guys, period, they get off on the bling, and they want custom-made pieces. And I used to go to a jewelry store right there on Jefferson and Arlington. And the jewelry store was where all the pimps took all their stuff, okay? You can buy all kind of pimp shit for pennies on the dollar. It's the same thing here, okay? We have been convinced that having all this extra, having this bling made us a better man or give us a chance to show out, and we'll spend all our money. You bust your ass all this time to get a hit record, a movie deal, or whatever the case may be. And as soon as you get the money, you can't wait to give it back. And I never understood that. And even Jake the Jeweler, he was on a show one time talking about how much money he charges for these various pieces. And to hear him say it, that a lot of the jewels are just barely, they're good, they diamonds, but they work diamonds. You got various classes of diamonds. Some of them are lower class diamonds.
Yeah,
his money is made in the labor, and whether it's a chain, a custom car, or whatever it is. In most cases, when you spend, if it's a chain, somebody make a custom chain for you, the labor, it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. If you have to sell it, you're only going to get so much money for the scrap metal, because that's what they're going to scrap it. They're going to scrap out the diamonds, scrap out the gold, and it's going to be okay. If you have a car that have a $50,000 paint job on it, and most of that money is going to be in the labor. So if you had to sell that car, you probably won't get your money out what you paid for, out of what you paid for the paint job. You might the wheels, the tires, all that stuff goes down in depreciation. I was watching the thing today. Woke up this morning and it was a cat on there. It was talking about motorcycles, choppers. How choppers used to be the bomb. Everybody had a chopper remake show, American Chopper, blah blah blah. And this one chopper he bought for $80,000. Well, it was when it was first made, it was valued at $80,000. He bought it for $8,000. Okay, same chopper that was once worth in the 2010, it was worth $80,000. He bought it for $8,000. Okay. So that means somebody lost $72,000, but most of that money was in the time it took to do the job. Okay, it's an engine, it's a some 2 tires, gas tank, But to put that stuff together and to paint it and to lay it out the way it is, everything to make it look good takes a lot of hours, and that's what people get paid for. We're not talking about no minimum wage people. We're not talking about no minimum wage people. So, when you invest in stuff like that, usually you're on a way to losing some money. Okay, simple as that. And that's just how the game goes. And the jewelry situation is really. I would think at this point in time, except for the internet, I would think by now it would have played out. But because the internet gives you a chance to get some international and global oohs and ahs temporarily, because it's all temporary. Just like when Homeboy had the diamond, $24 million diamond stuck in his forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got another fool got chains embedded into his skull. Nigga, please. Come on, man. This is what I'm saying. That's what I tell people when it comes to the antics of hip hop. It's not about the music. I ain't never heard one of this dude's songs yet. All I know is he got some solid gold chains attached to his brain. Okay. Now he could have just as easy had a gold chain wig made. Okay, but no. He had to outdo Homeboy that had the $24 million diamond embedded in his skull that had his brain leaking. Your brain leaking like a bad pipe, okay? And somebody else realize, I'm gonna take this right here and put, and this. If you look at it, dude, look at it. Even with the tattoos, everybody got tattoos, but tattoos are all labor, okay? It's all labor. So you getting tats, I looked at them Island boys today. They were talking about how their popularity is starting to drop.
Oh, idiots.
And, their popularity started to drop. But I looked at them. I mean, these dudes got at least, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 grams of tattoos on that you can't just wash off.
Mm-hmm.
On your face and your neck. You can't wash them off.
Mm-hmm.
So you did this for attention. You got the attention. And because things like this happen so fast, the 15 minutes turn into 10 or 5 minutes as opposed to 15. Because if somebody coming up, as soon as you hit the set with your tattoos, somebody else is getting tatted, ready to take your spot. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody getting tatted, ready to take your spot. And dude, you ain't your shit no more. You ain't your shit.
I feel like the Island Boys would not have came off as good as they are back in like 1991, 1992. I mean, people are giving Vanilla Ice shit, because he was from outside of Miami. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like they make a mockery of us, to be honest. I don't know.
Man, since Vanilla Ice, they've been trying to get them possible mega white folks to keep their thing going. They got a couple of them with Justin Timberlake. He sings like a brother, but he can dance. And you got Eminem, he's good. But you needed something else other than Tekashi, because so they came up with them two Island Boys, which, man, that's what I'll never understand that one, dude. I'm sorry. I know I'm old, but damn, I ain't stupid. Okay, I may be old, but I ain't stupid. Okay, and I think that's one of the things that we're missing right now. It's like I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. We're talking about education. They don't teach civics no more in school, so you don't know what your politicians are supposed to be doing. They don't teach cursive writing. If you write something in cursive, the kids thinking that's another language.
Facts.
They gave us basic stuff like phonics, A-E-I-O-U, and sometimes Y. Took that shit out. Okay. Anything that gave you a chance to learn, you could not use a calculator in my day. They had them, but you couldn't use them. You had to figure it out the long way and understand why you got the number that you got. Okay, you had to do that. It made a big difference long term in your life. I mean, reason why my studio could look the way it does right now with all the different gadgets I got going on, I understood at an early age the ins and outs of audio and video. I was the kid with the AV card. I had AV in junior high school. see, I'm bringing the projector to. I'm the one that got to go to the projector room, get the projector, and bring it back to the class and take it back to the take it back.
Yeah.
I was that kid. Okay. I also had wood shop and metal shop, and I could weld. You know, you things that I got in junior high school and high school. You got to go to IE with a UEI now to get. You got to spend 75, 80 grand to how to weld these days. Okay, big difference, man. Big difference. You know, it's damn near sad, dude. It's a big difference. It's damn near it's sad, dude.
Yeah. Biggest lie in history is when the teachers used to tell us, "You're not always going to have that calculator." It's just like, I got my phone right here, man.
I got my phone. I got a calculator, a translate. I don't need no Spanish. I translate my ass up. Say what? Hit me again. Here you go. Push Google Translator. Any language I need, I can figure it out. So, you know, which is good and bad. It's convenient, but you ain't learned nothing.
Nah. No. Nope.
It's convenient, but you haven't learned anything. Okay?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
What's up, Pat Elton?
Lou Perez. Lou Perez has a good question. I think we talked about this before. I don't even know if you might know something about this. Lou Perez, is it true that Dr. Dre stole the idea of beats from Eazy-E? Eazy-E had
the beats?
Stole the idea of the Beats headphones.
I don't know. No, I don't think so, because when I did that documentary, was it one with Jimmy Iovine, Defiant Ones? To my knowledge, Jimmy Iovine, Dre wanted to do some speakers. Okay, Dre wanted to do speakers. Jimmy Iovine was the one that said, "Man, no, do the headphones because everybody got these phones on the head," and that's how that came about, to my knowledge. Okay, look at the documentary, Defiant Ones, and I will show up in there. But there's a part where Jimmy Iovine was saying Dre was talking about doing some speakers, because Dre has always been a loud speaker dude. I mean, I got a picture that I bought years ago of a guy that I think it was a Memorex tape with this guy sitting back in the chair and his hair, the Drake was blowing over, was sitting in front of Drake. That's him today. You say his studio, you can't hardly sit in that of a gun because the music is so loud. So I don't know about that one, Doc. I don't know about that one.
Yeah. OG Shags asked something last week. I'm getting to some questions from last week. If you wasn't doing music, what would you be doing, Lonzo?
Oh shit, man, that's a good question. If it was up to my dad, I'd have been just retiring from Caltrans right now. I'd have a big old fat belly.
That's right.
I'd be gray as a son of a gun, and I'd just be retiring from Caltrans about a year ago, like my sister did. I thought about being a fireman. Okay. Thought about being a cop at one time. Man, I don't know, because I haven't had a job in so long. I don't know how to go to work.
You don't know what a W-2 is? None of that shit. Paid vacation.
All my money come 1099, man. So I've been doing that since I was 21 years old. So I don't know. That's a good question, dude.
Yeah, most people don't take the easy route, which is why there are very few successful people in this world. But why do you think you didn't take the easy route? You know, because you could, like you said, you had to hook up with Caltrans. You could have got that, boom. You know.
I think it's something in my DNA, man. Because I've never done anything that was really easy. I have the strangest. I got some of the strangest coincidences in my life. We was on World Class Record Crew was on the road. We brought a whole MIDI system. We never would just play by tape. Everybody else had a tape or a DJ. We wouldn't do that. I wanted to have something different. My last job, when I started weighing how much money I was making 5 days a week versus what I was making on the weekend, it didn't make sense. You know, I had a talent, I had a skill and a talent that allowed me to make money when in a time where money had a lot more value. Gas was only 79 cents back then, maybe $1, I don't know. But when you bringing home $162 a week, working 5 days a week, making $300 or $400, maybe $450 on Friday and Saturday, and it don't take a calculator to figure out. Well, and then then the next part is it ain't how much you make, it's how much you spend. Okay. if you can live on 162 a week, but you make it 400, you in position to win.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I made 400 or 450 didn't mean I spent 450. If I did, I bought me some turntables or speakers. I invested in myself, and then as I kept pushing, people kept bringing me more stuff. You know, like dude, it's just like it stopped making sense after a while. It stopped making sense, and I know that's hard to tell somebody who may have a job, and I have no problem with people that work. I have no problem with working, but for me, it was like the freedom of being able to not have to worry about going someplace you don't want to go. And sometimes I got to do shit I don't want to do. But back then, DJing and getting paid for it, man, I was in hog heaven. I'm in hog heaven right now.
That's the main part. That's the main. Looking back in hindsight, you are happier than if you would have took that easy job and just be recovering.
Dude, you know, if right now I'm on Facebook, on 4 YouTube channels, and I'm looking at myself on the monitors from the Homegrown Media Network, something that I own. Okay, that's my channel. Okay, now I don't have no sponsors yet, but I'm gonna have some because I'm able to create something from my own brain that's gonna translate into money for me and my family. And for me, that's very rewarding, man. And it's like it's the same thing you do when you build something. If you build something with your hands, that sense of completion and that sense of accomplishment is so rewarding. It makes you want to do it again. It's like a high, dude. And that's what I work off of.
Yeah, that high, right?
Huh?
Oh, yeah. That high. I work off that high too. I feel you on that.
That high. Sometimes I will take on a project at my house that I really don't have time to do, but I'll do it just for the sense of completion. I just floor in the house over here. I did these windows, and I really got time to do it, but I'll squeeze it in just for the hell of it. Like I said, even right now, y'all gonna see a lot more of me on Facebook and my television channel, only because I got all this shit here and I only use it right now 2 days a week. It almost don't make no sense. So
yeah,
I'll be on. I got another channel I'm starting, the Compton Chronicles. I'll be interviewing people from that. So it's just a matter of, like a guy told me a long time ago, do what you love for a living, and you'll never work harder than you. Okay, give people what they love, and they'll always love you. Or give them what they need, and they'll always need you. Those are my two mottos. Yeah.
Damn, preach. If I have my mixer, I'll be hitting that button, boy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
John Taylor. Lonzo, did you ever work with? There it is. Lonzo, do you ever work with the Royal Cash? They made the song Radioactivity Rap.
Nah, man. Royal Cash. I can't recall them ever coming to Los Angeles, dude. I can't recall them ever doing a concert. If they did, they snuck in, opened the show from somebody else and left out. I wouldn't know a picture of them if I saw them. They had a dope ass song. I love the song. Radioactivity Rap. Cold song. My boy Duffy Hooks did a radioactivity rap, because back in the day that was a big thing. Every time somebody make a song, he would make a rap version of the same song. Cold, smart move. But I couldn't tell you those guys if they walked in here right down in my studio. I have no idea who they are. No Royal Cash stories.
Lou Perez, we talked about this before, but why not touch on it again? In the new A&E documentary on Eazy-E's death, Kid Frost said that Jerry Heller's doctor was the one who injected Eazy-E with AIDS.
Now that was on Kid Frost. I don't know. Kid Frost said he went to some acupuncturists and got acupuncture, and that was the reason why it happened. What happened? I don't know, man. I was a little detached at that point in time. I was around for a minute, but then when Eazy and Jerry fell out, I wasn't around that much, so I can't speak on that.
Good looking out, Marlon Cozy. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my man. Let's see. He 7 Seals of Revelation says, did Lonzo have a business relationship with Harry O?
No, I didn't have. No, I never sold dope. I can't say I did, but I know Harry O. I met him. I guess I back up a little bit on that. When we did the documentary, Welcome to Death Row, That was about Harry O, Death Row, Lydia Harris, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I got called from a publicist friend of mine, Edna Sims, to be, hey, Lonzo, are you available this day to come down for premiere this documentary? And I'm like, what documentary? The one that you in? I'm not no documentary. Yes, you are. I'm not. Yes, you are. Come down to the theater, so and so and so and so. Go down to the theater, and sure enough, first 5 minutes of Welcome to Death Row, you see my happy ass. Okay? And the company that did it, that was Lee Savage. I forgot the name of his label, but Lee and I got cool, and I became the street guy for Welcome to Death Row. And that's what they had: cassettes, CDs, cassettes, and DVDs. And I ran the streets for about 2.5, 3 months, selling these things to all my contacts. That's when the swap meets was still doing good. I had people overseas. I was making money. I add $1 or $2 to it, and I was making money. And I was delivering the money to Lee. And somehow or another, Harry O got wind of what was going on. And I got a call through Terry Carter, the same brother that Suge ran over. We all from the same block, same neighborhood. Terry Carter called me up with Harry O on the phone. I had never talked to Harry O before then. And he asked me what was happening. I said, hey, man, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And yes, he asked me, was I selling CDs? I said, yeah. I said, how many you sold? I said, I probably sold about 1,000, 1,500. How much money you think? I said, I'm not sure, but, I gave him an estimated price. He said, what happened to the money? I said, I gave it to Lee. I got my cut, and Lee got the rest of it. And we talked for about 5 or 6 minutes, and that was pretty much it. Of course, he was in jail then, but that was pretty much it, folks. We ain't no problem like that. It's just that I guess he was concerned about the street sales, but those sales, people have to understand. Back in the day, when you go through a distributor, it takes you 60, 90 days to get your money. Your stuff is manufactured. You ship it to the distributor. They ship it to the stores sell it, pay the distributor got to give you his money. And sometimes you need some cash. And that was one of the things I was good for. I knew I had all the contacts. So I used those same contacts and did the street promo and sales for my boy.
Yeah.
And,
Matt Tree. Thank you. And
that's how we did it. Hey, man, we got time to open the phones up?
Yeah, I put of course, Doc. Yeah. I put the number up there. So
I felt so bad last week, man. I took the whole week off, and I just worked on this system to make sure that we got all this stuff together. And it was something real simple, man. It was kind of my fault. It was my fault. I just kind of got a little flustered. But yeah, folks, anybody want to call in right quick? Hit us up.
Yeah, I posted it, and I put it in the description also for all the people who are viewing it. I edited the thing and posted it in there. So yeah, 424-256-9211. Let's see. Jamal Ferris says this may be an easy question or a hard question. I don't know. It could go either way. Lonzo, what's your most memorable story from your house, if you can talk about it?
There was so many memorable stories, man.
Yeah, that's a hard one, huh?
The parties we used to have, man. We had some parties. We had the shit that they did, the music videos, they got from me. Okay. I had at my house, I can't put a where my house is built, I can't put a in-ground pool in there. But the owner of the club gave me a huge above ground pool. Okay, huge above ground pool.
Shit.
One of the other things I did was when I first bought my house, I put a jacuzzi in here. So I got a pool and a jacuzzi. Okay, I got a pool and a jacuzzi. We talking about 90. I got moved here in 86, 90, 91. I got a jacuzzi and a pool, okay? Death Row ain't informed yet, if I ain't mistaken. And we having some parties. We having parties. We got girls. We got it going on, okay? Dre and them wasn't here. This is me and my boys from the hood, okay? And we would have some all day, all night barbecue pool parties and it just was a hell of a time. And I had to give it up though, man. I had to give it up because boy, brothers don't know when to stop.
The stuff you found the next morning in the jacuzzi, I couldn't.
Man, it came time to clean up the yard, but nobody here. When it came time to clean up the pool, wasn't nobody here. When it came time to pay the light bill, wasn't nobody here. Came time to pay the the water bill, wasn't nobody here. And I cleaned up the pool. I cleaned up the yard, everything myself, me and my little helper, and messed around here. I'm in the pool, and because I had a tree over my pool, it kind of covered my pool up, and I had to get in the pool and clean it. It was cold, no heater. Walking, and I stepped on something, and I stooped down to pick it up. There was a bag of crack cocaine.
God damn.
A bag, about an 8-ball of crack cocaine, because crack cocaine does not melt in water. If you didn't know, now you know. Okay, crack cocaine does not melt in water. Powder cocaine will melt in water. Crack cocaine, that shit will last through the a nuclear blast. Okay, and this is when they just started talking about making that law about crack cocaine go to penitentiary, powder cocaine go to rehab. Okay, and I wasn't about to go to penitentiary behind somebody else's powder cocaine. Crack cocaine. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned to the fellas, hey man, I found some cocaine in the pool, man. Oh, what did it look like? It was a white fool. Anyway, that's when I realized I had that was strike one. Strike two, at that time I had West Coast record distributors. I'd get up in the morning like I had a job, go sit in the office at West Coast record distributors. I'd come home about 3 or 4. I come over to the house, gates been locked up, house locked up. I look over my house and I see smoke come out of my backyard. What the fuck, something on fire? Niggas in hot to fist, they barbecuing with a pool party in my backyard, and I ain't home. Strike two. Strike two. Okay. They got girls in the pool. They having an after party. It's like Tuesday. After party at my house. Anybody call me and say, "Hey man, I'm on my way. Can you mind if we bring a couple of girls by the pond, by the pool?" Nothing. And last but not least, I'm in Department of Water and Power, and I had to drain the pool like 3 times to clean it because this tree just kept on dropping all kind of stuff in there. I didn't have a cover for it. And DWP sent me a demand. First of all, they cut off my water, and they told me in order to get my water back on, I had to give them $1,500 deposit. And I asked everybody that was partying in my backyard that sold crack cocaine, "Hey man, can I get $100 a piece on this water bill?" And everybody told me they didn't have it. I said, "I tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna drain this pool. We won't be having no more pool parties." And that's what I did. I drained the pool. And I called the metal man, the aluminum man, and they got it, and that was it. I've been happy ever since. I kept my jacuzzi though. That was for me and my girl.
Love that shit. Black Staxes was Lonzo a pimp daddy during the N.W.A. days?
I wasn't a pimp daddy, but I damn sure was a player. I was a damn sure was a player. You should be lying. We got folks. Anybody want to holler right quick, folks?
Yeah, give us a call. We'll stick around after 7 if you guys want to give us a call.
Right here. I got it right here.
There it is.
We working today, folks. Now I'm only gonna be here for a minute. How much time you got, Dusty?
Shit, I 15, 20 more minutes, man. I'm good.
So we're gonna see what's happening. Anybody want to call in and ask a question or something like that? Go direct. Feel free. 424-256-9211. We are also live on the Homegrown Media Network. If you have Roku at the house, folks, if you have Roku, you can go on right now and look at us on your television set. Kick back. You got to look at your phone. You got to look at your computer. You can go to Roku. Go to channel search. Type in Homegrown Media Network and then add channel. It'll be right there, and we'll be up and rolling. We got about that's about a 20-second delay from what I'm saying now to what you see on the screen, but it's all good. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the feed right now, and we're looking real good on television. I've been working on this all day, man. All week. So I definitely proud of this shit. Another sense of accountability. Now, Lonzo, what's up with you?
Lonzo, it's Maxwell. I interviewed you, I think it was like about a month ago.
Can you hear him, Dusty?
Yes. What up, Maxwell?
Maxwell.
What's going on, man? Hey, one question I didn't get to ask you when I interviewed you. Who did the white guy voice on a lot of the N.W.A. records?
The white guy on the N.W.A. records?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the guy who did, let's describe a certain character, a female with an attitude, that guy.
Man, I couldn't tell you. It might have been Donovan. It could have been Donovan, the engineer. It could have been Donovan. I'm not sure. I don't know for sure. I wasn't in the studio at that time. I do know that Crazy D did all the Mexican voices, but I don't know who did the white voices. I'll ask you next time I see him, though. I get your answer.
Let's see here. I may find it. Hang tight. Stay right there. I think I may have found. Let's see.
Hold on.
I don't think the line. Does anyone know who provided the lines? I always assumed it was Ice Cube. No, it wasn't Ice Cube. I'm just reading through answers because this question has definitely been answered. It sounds to my ear like the actor Vincent D'Onofrio. He played a racist cop in Strange Days. I don't know. We'll try to find that for you, my man.
I would love that.
Cool. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you for calling.
No problem. We'll talk to you later.
All right, now, peace.
Yes. Now he has me curious. That's a hip hop nerd question right there. I like that.
Yeah, that's a hip hop nerd question right there. Who was the white?
That's some shit I'll just randomly be thinking at 2:00 in the morning when I should be going to sleep because I gotta be up in 3 hours.
That's the Gemini brain. I need to put a switch on my brain because I can't do it. Dude, sometimes I'm up at 2:00 in the morning just thinking. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's a Gemini thing, dude.
Yeah. I gotta literally tell my brain, okay, all right, dog, turn it down, turn it off. And but that's a good thing. That's why I got my brain. Anyway. Yeah, thank you guys for calling. Hold on 1 second. Damn, my computer just froze.
Jay Ross, I see you, baby. Much love to you.
Shout out Jay Roos Theory.
Jay Roos, okay.
Yeah, Jay Roos. Make sure you guys check out his channel on YouTube. I had a chance to be on his show a few days ago. And had a good time talking about boxing. They have a lot of boxing content. Boxing is my favorite sport, so it was really a good time getting to actually meet Jay Roos Theory. Yeah, man, thank you so much for always loving the support, dude.
Much love. Thank you, Doc. I really appreciate it.
That's super dope. Let's see what else. All right, my computer's back. Let's see. Is it true? Okay, yeah. Lou Perez, is it true that crates of guns were found on the Compton train track in the 80s?
Yes. I interviewed Omar Bradley, who was the mayor of Compton at that time, and he verified that story. And my cousin, who lived in Compton also, she told me about a mysterious van that showed up on her street because the people that left, whoever left the train, first of all, how do you leave a train? How did it get disconnected? How did it get left in Compton full of guns? And then forgot the damn bullets. So a van that was abandoned van that somebody eventually broke into, found these bullets, and they put the bullets with the guns, and brothers ain't stopped shooting since then. Now this is some Compton folklore that if you tell somebody that ain't from Compton, they call you a lie. They would say you lying. That ain't, man. Look, okay.
I've heard it too many times from too many people.
Dude. When I heard it, I thought it was a lie. When Omar Bradley, the mayor of Compton, he verified. Man, honestly, that happened, dude. Okay, so that goes to show you, and that goes to show you how some people have been plotting our demise for years. Okay, our demise has been a part of somebody else's plan for quite some time. Hold on, we got a caller.
Let's go.
Now, so what's up with you?
Hey, Lonzo, what's up, man? I'm on it. You took my call.
Oh, thank you for calling.
What's your name, man?
Lonzo, man. I really got something I want to share with you. I had put it up in the chat, but I got an original copy of House Calls from the Record Crew.
Okay.
That I've been had, man, since we was about we was real young, and I'm doing this because I had a friend that passed. And the only way I found out about you was through him. Because, when we met, we were 10, 11 and whatnot. And we was working at this little record store.
Okay.
So you know, the record guy, he was really trying to get on with the hip hop thing about what they listening to. Well, I was all good with the East Coast stuff. He liked the East Coast stuff, but him coming from San Diego, he was all about this Worldcraft record crew, man, and all this stuff, you know. So he was the one that did all the ordering from the West Coast, and all he ever ordered was Worldcraft record crew, Dr. Dre, all that like that. Turn out the light.
Right.
Hey, Lonzo, we got a bonus for Turn Out the Light because it caught on so far, and he started, you know, the DJ started coming to him. He couldn't even keep it on the shelf.
Wow.
Our little bonus was $5 more,
Wow.
and then he got to let us look at this so-called thing called satellite TV.
Okay.
And we went over there, and he let us flick with the channels, and guess what we saw for the first time in our lives?
What's that?
A channel, a black guy with green eyes, and the channel was BET.
Wow.
And when we went and we told our friends and all that stuff, it's a black television station. They told us we was crazy.
Wow.
We was berserk.
That's crazy.
That's dope.
His brother was in media at the newspaper, and he was like, it's something to this. Do you know when that cat looked it up, he found out it was, he went to the cable company and he demanded that they give it to him. I never forget, Lonzo, when we came home, it was on. And it all came through the fact of me and him working at the little shop and, you know, our connection with music, Worldcast working too. So I'm just asking, this is a place I can send this to you, man, so I can get you to sign. He passed just recently. His little nickname was D-Rock. That was his little street name.
What's your
and
what's
that was my dog.
Where you from?
I'm originally from, me and him was in Allentown, Alabama, where we grew up at, but I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
I tell you what, take my my email address and we'll connect. We'll make it happen.
That's what Lonzo, man. I mean, like, I'm actually just gonna give it to his brother, and just let him know, man. Hey, this is
that's a great story, man. Damn, you almost broke my heart with that story. That's a great story, man.
Yeah, it is. It is a great story.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
I'm ready when you're ready, Lonzo.
What name you got on? Well, I can text it to you right quick. That's what I can do. I think I can text it to you.
Okay, that's good.
Damn,
that's great, Lonzo.
I got to put you on blast. What's your name? Are you on the screen too? Are you on the chat room?
Yeah, I'm in the chat.
What's your name?
Yeah, I have put it up in the chat.
I did see
Pat
that.
Elston.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's real Lonzo N.W.A.
I'm trying to
original, man. It's still in good condition, man. Because you know, we that was our thing. We took care of it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I was the East Coast cat. He was the West Coast cat. And he was telling us all this old move, man. N.W.A. And I remember the first album he showed me. I was like, all them cats in the group. Like, yeah. And then out of nowhere, it was 4.
I got you, Lonzo. I got it right here. Pat Elston.
All right, Pat, check the chat room for the email address.
All right, I got you.
All right, Doc, what's up? We connect. All right. Peace.
Thanks, man.
You got it.
Thank you, Pat. Damn, Lonzo, as a person who created something and put so much time into that, dog, if that can happen to me in 30 years, what has happened to you, I think I could die a happy person.
Interesting, Doc.
I mean, that dude said him and his homeboy connected off of your music, and his boy just passed away, and he wants to send a signed copy to his friend, basically. And that's something to be like. No, there's no monetary. There's nothing that compares to that monetarily, dog. That's dope, man.
Right. Hey man. I get blessed with things like that all the time, and it's I tell somebody, man, you're so humble. I said, man, humble don't pay no money though. Humble don't pay like being an asshole, okay? And he said, you know what? You get your money, you get your blessing, you get your money different ways. I guess I do, okay? I have an asshole file. I just don't like using it, okay?
I can pull that asshole card real quick.
There is a QR code you can scan to get the asshole, but I try to use that, okay? What's up, Rob Lewis? What's up, baby?
Eric Witt says, how much love does your music get overseas?
Man, tons of music. I mean, tons of love, dude. In fact, I'm trying. Dude, if it wasn't for COVID, I probably wouldn't be able to sit here right now. We had some. In fact, here's some crazy stuff. Yella got at me right when COVID first hit, and he said he wanted to come back and work with me and Clientele to bring back the World Class Wrecking Crew. That's a true story. Okay. And we sit here, me, him, and Clientele sat down. We were actually going to put together, get Shakespeare is right there in Sacramento. And the four of us talked about getting together, going back on the road, doing some shows and overseas, because Yella is very popular overseas, was one of our places to be. But COVID got worse instead of better, so we haven't had a chance to pursue that yet. But yes, my best reception I've ever received in my life was going overseas for the 1996 Fresh Fest, man. They treated us like we were in today's market. Back then, we were like Drake. Okay, they mobbed the shit out of us, and it was just a great feeling. And got back home, I had to catch a cab home from the airport. So it's
like a regular dude.
I'm a regular dude. It happened in Mississippi, in Louisiana, Texas. We were in the mall, man. I was telling this story yesterday. We was walking through the mall, and we had our jackets on. And we looked up, and there was a couple of girls. Then there was some more girls. Then it was about 20 girls. And looked up, man, it was about 40 or 50 girls behind us. And we started, what the fuck is going on? We started walking, and we started walking fast. And then we started running. They started running. And security guards had to open up a vacant store and stick us in the store till the crowd died down, man. And stickers out the mall, dude. It's no bullshit. They had stickers out the mall through the little where they bring the boxes at during the daytime. There's most malls have a little delivery entrance. They had the sneakers, bring the van around and stickers out the mall. That same trip, I got ready to get back to LA. I had to catch a cab to get home. I couldn't get nobody picking me up from the airport, and I don't live but 10 minutes from the airport. So that's a true story. That's a true story, dude. And it's just amazing. And it's something that I guess this is what keeps me humble, because I know most of the time, for me, this shit it's temporary. It's not permanent. Okay, it goes up and it comes back down. Okay, so as opposed to me getting being some kind of nutty ass celebrity, I just stay Lonzo when it's up, stay Lonzo when it's down. That way, I ain't got the trip.
That's what's up. Black Stag, did Lonzo produce music with N.W.A?
No. Nope. I didn't produce. They use a lot of my samples.
Did they? Oh, well, give us an idea of some.
If you hear some of the record crews, some of the N.W.A songs, you hear stuff like Po Ho, shit. I mean, this shit like that. Because on Juice, if you flip Juice over, you'll hear a bunch of ad libs, and that was something I thought was, because at that time people were buying a lot of special effects records, and we would take some of the extra time on the flip side of a 12-inch and make special effects, custom special effects, and they use a bunch of them. They use I had a crazy ass laugh I used to do all the time. They used that throughout the N.W.A.'s first record. I never got a dime for it. I should have charged it for sampling. Never got it, but I didn't trip. No, I didn't make any music with them. No.
Okay. Let's see. Let's do. I got time for maybe one or two more questions. Yo-Yo suggests Jada Pinkett Smith was not love of Tupac's life. Did you ever do anything with Yo-Yo?
No, I met her before. I know her. We never had a conversation. We took the pictures together. We never sat down and had a conversation. Nope, can't say we did.
She was one of my biggest crushes back in the day. What do you remember? What can you tell us about her come up? Like, when did you start hearing about her?
I didn't hear about her until she came up with a Bonnie and Clyde thing. Okay, I had heard from her. She came up with Bonnie and Clyde. I thought she had a lot of talent, a lot of skills, and I've always wondered why she gets credit and JJ Fad don't get no credit. Okay, JJ Fad was on Ruthless. They did a lot of stuff together, and that was Ruthless' first platinum album, whether people realize it or not. But when it comes to ladies of West Coast hip hop, they never include JJ Fad. They always get Yo-Yo, and that's JJ Fad is I've been around them. I know all them. We all cool, and I don't have a problem with Yo-Yo. I just thought it was kind of funny that they always overlook JJ Fad. Things.
Did you ever get to see JJ Fad perform?
Oh yeah, we performed with
and did they at the height of Supersonic? I mean, how big were they? I mean,
oh man, they were all Salt and Pepper, man. They were.
Did Homegirl do? My question for you is: did Homegirl do the fast rap? Did she do it live on some?
That's Juana. When I interviewed Juana, I thought it was Baby D, but Juana said that was her because she wasn't a rapper. She just was. She just together and did that little scat. And yeah, that's the shit. That's the shit. I remember my grown daughter, the mother of my grandchildren, when she was in the 9th grade, her and her friends did a JJ Fad tribute in the talent show. Okay, and that was, to me, it was hilarious. I wish I had filmed that shit right there.
That's dope, man. Damn, that's dope to know that she wasn't a rapper. And she has quite possibly the most memorable line of the song. I mean,
yeah, and that mumbling, I guess that was the original mumble rap. Okay,
yeah,
but back then, it wouldn't have been called mumble. It would have been called scatting. Okay, that was like a hip hop version of scatting because that was some shit they did in jazz all the time. Okay,
yeah,
and when she did that right there, nobody tripped on it because. We kind of could look at it as mine being like a hip hop scat, and it was cool.
That's dope. That's dope. Black Stag says I got beats for sampling. Who can I send them to? Black Stag, actually, you can send that to me, Dusty Vision TV, on my Instagram. DM me there, and we'll go from there. I know a lot of people who need beats, and I can definitely point you in the right direction. What's coming up Thursday, Lonzo?
Hey, hold on. I can use some beats too. Real Lonzo N.W.A.
There you go. Boom.
I'm looking to do something a little different. I'm thinking, dude, I'm so tempted to do something, dude. I'm so tempted. I'm gonna do some grown man shit though. I'm not gonna do no I ain't got no bitches blunts and banging in my
if it makes you feel more comfortable, I would love to do it with you because I've been releasing music low key and over the past year or so on all platforms, iTunes and all that, and it's definitely released something in me that I thought was dead like 10, 15 years ago, man. But again, music never dies inside you, and it doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah, I got on my tablet, I got a bunch of songs I have verses for. I got a studio. I just do too much shit to sit down and actually record something. I was actually gonna buy me some beats, man, buy me a track and just do it. But my boy, man, you can't buy no track, you Lonzo.
No.
Let's make one then. Come on, shit.
That's it. Sounds good, man. We'll talk offline about that. Anything coming up on Thursday?
I'm supposed to be interviewing Little Flip, man, out of Texas. I had this DJ on last year, and his manager hit me up to come on the show, and he's supposed to be getting back with me, find out what the schedule's going to be. If I do a Little Flip, I might need you to come and sit in with me, Doc.
Oh, I would love to do that. I was a huge supporter of his back in the day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice.
So yes, that's what we got, man. That's what I'm expecting.
We posted. Let's go with this last question since Miami 808 just dropped it and he's a big supporter of the program. Miami 808 says, hi, Lonzo. Did you get paid when Eazy-E used the Juice acapella samples in Boys in the Hood?
Nope. That's what I just talked about that. Nope.
Okay.
I'm talking about. Yep. Nope. Not at all. Miami 808 knows what I'm talking about. We create acapellas. That was something I was supposed to do on all my records. I just did it for that one right there. I actually started making straight beat records after that. I made a couple things. My Z-Rock became beat records. And then I had Avion and some other stuff. I did a bunch of different stuff. People don't realize how much stuff I really did. I had to put my name on everything. Sometimes I didn't. I had Z-Rock was, I started off being a bootleg label. Then we started doing beats. Then I had Avion, which is something I did with Avion, the Underwater Rhymes. That was something I did with DJ Slip. And then I had a whole series of another project called Dope Tracks, and Dope Tracks was just straight beats. I was doing straight beats for anybody else was, and it was LA beats. DJ Rectangle did some beats for me. Mike T did beats for me. Had a bunch of producers. I would buy the beats from them, put them on 12-inch, put them on cassette and CD, and I sold them to prisons. You know, and see, that's something simple. I stumbled into that.
What?
I stumbled into it. Okay, I started making dope tracks, and this guy in the valley kept calling me. Hey man, I need some dope track number 4. Okay, cool. He was a record distributor. Okay, all he sold was cassettes, and we got to know each other. And his whole thing was he was one of the few people that had a vendor permit to sell to prisons around the country.
Wow, dog, you. That's a dope. What?
Okay, and dope tracks was all over penitentiaries. Okay, and he was up in the valley, and they couldn't get CDs. Because CDs they could be filed down to be a weapon. But he bought my whole dope track collection, my dope track catalog, and then he went out of business because then they realized that there was inside money in the prisons. So everything that the prisoners want now, there's another company that controls all that. So he got cut out of the game. But yeah, that was one of my main things.
God, telling you, man, I've known you legitly for 3 years now. Sometimes you never cease to amaze me with crazy stories like that. Man, always a pleasure, dude. Let me give a shout out to the people in the chat before we bounce. Shout out to Ben Frank. Shout out to Miami 808. Shout out to Black Stag, Wilmo 44. Let's see here, Jamal Ferris. Man, thank you guys for all the love. Marlon Cozy, of course, checking in every week. Robin Lewis, Deuce Times, Booker Bear, man, dog. MP, what the F? Thank you guys so much for all the love.
Hey, Dusty, what size shirt you wear? What, medium, a large or medium?
Large shirt.
I'll send you. You got to get your world class Wrecking Crew shirt, Doc. You can't be wearing.
I told you I need a dad hat too. I'll pay for the dad hat if you give me. Dad hat, I will rock it.
All right.
Let me know the price, and I got you, for real.
You know what? I gotta look out for you, man. I gotta look out for you.
Dad hat, send it to me. My birthday's right around the corner.
Dad hat. That's the flat bill or the
That's kind of the one like this. This is kind of the one that looks a little. Yeah. If you type in dad hat, it'll pop up.
Okay, I'll do that. No problem. No problem at all. Hey, folks, if you're on the line right now, if you have Roku, do me a favor. If you don't have time to watch, I ain't mad at you. But this show will be on Roku as well. I'm looking at it right now. I'm broadcasting live on Roku as we speak. The Homegrown Media Network. Go to channel search, add channel, type in Homegrown Media Network. Add the channel. I'm trying to build the channel up. Please support that. It don't cost you a dime. It ain't nothing. And you'll see I got a bunch of stuff going on. The Hip Hop Awards show will be broadcast live only on the Homegrown Media Network. That's going to be in March. And I got a few other things I'm working on right now. My new show, the Release Party Live, will be on the Homegrown Media Network. The Release Party, which is a video show, will be on the Homegrown Media Network. Things I can't put on YouTube and Facebook will all be on the Homegrown Media Network. So if you're a supporter, support that. Go to if you got Roku, not Fire Stick, not Amazon, just Roku right now. Go to Roku, channel search, add channel, Homegrown Media Network. All right, folks, appreciate it. Much love.
Man, always a pleasure, dude.
All right, you got it, folks. Oh, Martin said, let me do something right quick for Martin.
Oh, I like that shirt, Dusty. Good looking out.
I
got it for $15 at the Santa Fe Spring Swap Meet if you want to go copy
the Cube shirt.
Yeah.
All right, there it is, Martin, right there on top. Download the Homegrown Media Network on Roku, folks. In the meantime, Dusty, I will see you shortly.
Yes.
From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve After Dark to concerts in the park, you're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop. And tonight, the Dusty one is the host. We out of here, folks.